You know, guys, I have a really, really bad habit. Two bad habits, actually. One is I hoard stuff. Car parts galore. I hoard them. Don't know why. I guess I find the value in everything. And two, I have a bad habit of starting projects or acquiring projects when I have other stuff going on. What's up, guys? Kai with TK Speed Shop. And I have yet again got distracted and went down another rabbit hole, but I think this one will be done relatively quick. If you was hoping for a 77 Trans Am video, don't worry. They're coming. But let's talk about what I just acquired. This is a 1999 Yukon. We got a Yukon. It's actually pretty damn solid. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty damn solid. I mean, obviously it needs a repaint. The hood's kind of, but the body itself is pretty straight. There's a couple little spots of hail damage. But overall, guys, I mean, you got a whammo right there, but we can probably pop that out. And by me, I mean that's somebody else's job for when this thing decides to take that next step. But it's pretty solid, guys. Like, the inside of it could really use cleaning. I mean, it's pretty dirty in there. But everything's in it. Seats are in it. I know it's probably dark in there to you, but it's a fully dressed, fully able vehicle. It even has the drivetrain in it still, which is very rare for us to acquire something this luxury. I mean, I'm not used to acquiring stuff that's kind of already done. Now, let's talk about how did I acquire this. A friend of mine listed this on the marketplace like 3 months ago, and it kind of just lived there. I was on the marketplace hunting, and I saw it, and at the price that I saw it for, it was practically being given away. So, did I need it? Absolutely not. But could we do something cool with this? Yeah, we kind of can. So, let me give you the rundown on it. All right, let me bring you in. It's equipped with the 5.7 Vortec and the 60E transmission and all that. Okay? AC, the works. Well, the starter, it had a starter issue, and they went to put another starter on and broke the air off the bottom. Now, you could be saying you could weld that back together. You're absolutely right. But to me, that's an excuse to do something else. See what I'm saying? Now, let me tell you what this project is going to mean to the channel real quick, so we can go ahead and let bygones be bygones. Contestant number 1. I already have the LS. This is a 4.8. I know small for a Yukon, but this is a 4.8 with a Truck Norge camshaft in it. Other than that, bone stock. I'm talking bone stock. Me and my son, we freshened this up. We did like a little budget R&R rebuild. We already got an oil pan on it. We already got swap plates on it for the clamshells. The works. And we got a Trailblazer SS style or Gen 4 truck intake already on it with the injectors and the rail. Essentially, all we have to do is throw an accessory system on this, be it, the Vortec LS style water pump with the long neck and like a couple little brackets, Now, that's part 1. I keep that thing on me. Part 2 is we already have a 60E with a Trailblazer converter in it. So, we have 1, 2 things and boom. I always wanted to try my hand at doing something factory-esque, okay? So, The goal is to LS swap this and make it look as factory as possible. Now, you guys know when I do LS swaps on stuff, that it kind of get blown out of proportion and we fall down the largest rabbit hole Bugs Bunny's ever dug, okay? That's kind of what happens with everybody LS build. It snowballs, and that's how you spend all the money. That's how you go from, look at my $500 LS swap to look at my 15 grand LS swap, okay? Now, the good news is this is a prime candidate to do a swap and go, all right? This was roadworthy. This was on the road recently. So, that means everything in it still works. That means we got a good fuel system, we got a good cooling system, we got a good transmission, we got all that stuff. Everything works, okay? Just ear broke off the block for the starter. So, if you didn't know, the fuel systems on Vortex and all that stuff is basically 58 PSI, just like the LS stuff. I already have half the stuff the LS swap that's just laying around. So, I should be able to plug the drivetrain out, put an LS drivetrain in it, wire up a Holley Terminator X Max, because that's probably what I'm going to use, and teach myself how to use ground triggers and stuff on the Holley Terminator X system for AC and all that stuff. So, that's to give you the rundown. And that gets you up to speed on what we're doing with this. So, I need to go ahead and start carefully removing this front clip so I can gain access, because we're going to pull the motor and transmission out together, and I would just rather pull it out like that instead of taking the hood off and doing all this funky BB bull mess. You know what I'm trying to say. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and start removing these. Now, fun fact, I've never owned one of these. Now, I've owned OBSs before, but I've never owned a big body OBS. So this is going to be a little new to me. Shouldn't be that complicated. I mean, it's basically a freaking truck, you know. Now, I like to tag and bag my stuff in case the off chance that I might forget something, and I will forget something. Let me know if you guys like this type of content. I immediately thought of you guys when I saw this too. I was like, what would be fun and interesting for the channel? Well, I thought of you guys, and it's kind of where we got ourselves at. Do this front bumper has to come off for me to get this out? Fun fact, you do not need to take the bumper off to get that off. Just thought you should know that, in case you didn't already. Fun freaking fact. I just have to fight it off camera, that's all. What is this? Come on. Well, God dang it, there's some more over here. Come on out. There you go. I think my favorite thing about this so far, this is 100% factory. Like, there's no zip ties in the radiator shroud or any of that. It's all the factory 10 mil bolts and stuff. So, and I don't got no broke shroud either. Man. We don't know what this goes to. We just know it's hot. Even the evap canister, guys, is still on this. Like, all that stuff is there. That's pretty freaking awesome. We got dual battery trays. We got one here and one over here. So, dual boy. I guess you guys are getting a close-up on how all this stuff is looking. I want to take this entire core support off in one go. So I'm probably finna go ahead and break these lines on this condenser and leak poisonous fumes in the air safely. Okay guys, I'm gonna keep it a bill with you. I got frustrated trying to get that core support off and that AC line. I said some stuff that's not very YouTube friendly, so we're gonna have to scratch and cut all that stuff out. Plus, you guys don't want to see me sit here and disassemble an OBS truck. Now, despite all this carnage, we was able to not tear up anything besides one AC line. Cause I couldn't get it off. I've tried heat. I tried to heat it up with the cram, well, the wax, whatever you want to call it. I've tried all that crap. I couldn't get that line to break loose, and I was just like, I pondered AC. We're putting AC back on this, so I mean, I was able to retain all that stuff. I kind of just flopped it up out the way. I got the entire wiring harness undamaged off to the side. I got the headlight harness undamaged off to the side. So basically tomorrow I should be able to come out here, cut the manifolds off down there, unbolt the transmission, drop the drive shaft, and I should be able to undo the motor mounts, and we should be able to suck this on out. Man, carnage. I told you I'd bring you back. Well, it's a new day. Guys, I don't really know how to go about this. I would time lapse, but I feel like time lapses are rather boring. I tried using time lapses before, but yeah, that don't work too well. Anyway, we're right here. It is now dangling precariously up there. We had to drop the drive shaft, unbolt the transmission mount, disconnect millions of wires, and all this other stuff, and the hood still had to come off. I probably could have just avoided taking that stuff out in the first freaking place, but we're here now. We're finna go ahead and finish snatching it out. I was just jamming out in the background, and I was like, oh, we're getting to a crucial point. So, yeah. Not gonna lie. This is kind of exciting. And I had to cut the exhaust. Come on, you big barley girl. Man, I'm telling you guys, and I got it dangling by the smallest thread bolts that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Ah, yes. All over my shop floor. Ah, it's out. And we didn't rip or tear a single thing, guys, because we need to figure out some of the stuff that we need to use or keep or anything like that. I didn't even rip the dang fuel lines. Look at that. I'm getting better at this stuff. This transmission that's covered up from all this other stuff is basically the same as this one. But we're going to have to rob some stuff off of it, like that box right there for the computer boo bops. That mount, I could have got that mount off underneath the thing, but I didn't want to strip it because it's, for some reason GM thought it was a bright idea to put Starbit stuff down there or whatever. This dipstick tube, we definitely need this dipstick tube because this is going back in a stock location and same transmission. Makes sense, don't it? Now, I believe that this sensor is interchangeable. I believe this is the exact same sensor that they used on the 99 and 02s. And I'm pretty sure I can take that and thread that right into the back of this. So that'll be pretty neat. That'll make sure all that stuff's working, because that looks like the same sensor. As you can look in the block, since it's, you know, small block, old school stuff, it's teed into that. So we possibly can reuse that. Now, let me show you what it took to get. That's all I used. I used 4 of these, and I basically lifted it from the manifold with this thingy-my-bubble. 4 of these. Not, I don't know if this is grade 8 or what, but these 4 little screws held all that stuff down in there. I'm gonna put that back because I'm gonna need to get you up out my goddamn way and load you in the back of my truck so we can take you to the lean-to side of things. Guys, we're pretty much wrapped up in this video. I mean, I know this seemed kind of lackluster. I kind of teased you with some LS stuff, and well, I mean, I gotta pressure wash all that stuff. You really want to see something like that? Maybe. Just kidding. I wasn't gonna let you guys sit there and watch me pressure wash something. That's not good content, or I can't make it good content. There's some content creators that do a really good job at doing stuff like that. Again, I don't want to start playing with YouTube violations with music and this, that, and the other. And as you guys know, I hate time lapses. So, But we was able to get this cleaned up pretty dang good. Firewall cleaned up pretty good. The camera's really not doing it any justice, but everything cleaned up relatively nice. I got a couple of spots that I'm going to have to get the old bzz, bzz in there and pss, pss, pss. But that's a small price to pay. I think I'm gonna wrap the video up, guys, because there's really not much left to do. I have to get some swap plates. I was gonna go ahead and technically swap this on, but I can technically make these work, but I'm trying to go for something that's just simple, done. I don't want to modify that. Those are good small block swap mounts, well, clamshells for something. So instead of me just cutting them up, I'd rather just, you know, actually spend it like 20 bucks or whatever and get some other mounts, and we're gonna mount that on this instead. Then we'll marry this and that transmission together. Speaking of that transmission, I went ahead and stripped all the little doodads off of that transmission and put them on this transmission. Like, now we have a diplomer stick, we have a vent line, and we have like the little bracketry for the gear shifter thingamabobble. So that's all good. All that stuff transferred right on over. This is basically the same transmission as that, except for this one looks prettier and has an actual converter in it that's gonna give us a little bit of oomph with the camshaft that we do have in that motor. So that'll be pretty nice. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna list this old pile on the marketplace and see what goes from there, because I have no use for this. So I like old motors. I came up around old motors, but I just, with today's technology and basically anything that you can put a small block Chevy in, you can put one of those in there. And what's the point of putting one of these in there if I can put one of those in there? And, you know, so anyway, I appreciate you guys for all the love and support. I know this video is extremely short and it seems weird, but I had to introduce you guys to the old bread box Yukon. And I'm guessing next video with this thing, we'll have those swap mounts by then, and we'll kind of be able to reverse the process and put the motor and transmission back in. Shouldn't be a very difficult situation. Shouldn't be nothing. We're going to try to make this look as stock as we possibly can without modifying a whole bunch. Yeah, the idea is to kind of make this thing as stock as I possibly can without having to really modify much. So I do know we're going to be reusing the fuel system in this. I am going to be ripping out all the fuel lines, and I'm going to be running a Corvette regulator with the single line, because the intake that we do have for this, you can't see because it's dark. There you go. Is a returnless style one, so we'll be using that because we already got that. So, oh, you guys can see we already got some wheels. Yeah, we already kind of got some stuff for this project, and that's kind of what's gonna make this thing up and go pretty quick. Now, I will be looking at the wiring. So I'm gonna take the time to look over the LT1 swap website and look at the wiring for the PCM swap. Now, depending on the pros and cons of me using the 0411 PCM, which is the stock Vortex style PCM, well, the stock LS Vortex style PCM, if the pros of an aftermarket ECU is a lot more pro-y, you get what I'm saying? I'm probably going to end up using something like a Holley Terminator or an Haltech or something like that, because they have all the equipment, all the extensions and stuff to make the AC controls and all that stuff work. And to be 100% honest with you, in my localized area, PCM tuning and stuff like that's not really relative around here. I'll have to load this thing up, put it on a trailer, and drive somewhere, and I'm not really feeling that, especially if I start doing any modifications. And I don't have HP tuners or any of that kind of stuff. I probably should invest in that kind of thing, but once you weigh out all the pros and cons of all that stuff, and then buying a swap harness or weeding out a harness, you could have just bought an aftermarket, setup with the harness and let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, I'm rambling. I want to thank you guys for checking out this week's video. It has been killer for me to get back into the YouTube swing of things after taking that vacation. You guys saw the last week we was working on the 77 Trans Am. That project is still going to be ongoing. We didn't can, okay, the C10. That's kind of got canned for now, because it's technically not my project. It's my old lady's project, and she really wants to do everything on that truck with me together. And at the state that vehicle's in right now, if we're going to do that, we might as well just break a lot of more of that stuff down and then go through it. Or she might sell it. Who knows? I don't even know. I just know that the vehicle ain't been touched since that last video we put out, and that was months ago on that thing. And it's kind of just it's become a dedicated hold all for me right now. And it's kind of holding up that spot of that shop that I'm not liking that at all. But this is simple. We can have a motor and transmission in this and have, everything done within a month or so. And when I mean by month, I mean weekends, because I really only work on stuff on the weekends anyway. And we can split the content with this thing and this thing. And maybe then one day we'll get back on this thing. But alas, I've already said it once. I'm rambling. I'll see you guys in the next video. Old bread box Yukon, old big body, big burly, sexy, big old donk SUV.